I'm about to do something most realtors would never do. I'm going to tell you how to judge us, how to interview us, how to get us through the sales pitch, and figure out who's actually going to take care of you as a client, who's going to waste your time, who's going to cost you money and disappear when things get tough. Because here's the thing, not all realtors are the same. And the wrong one can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars on the most important financial transaction that you're probably ever going to do. Today, I'm going to give you the playbook, what to look for, what to ask, and any red flags that you should be aware of. I'm Rebecca Nadelka, your realtor mom, eXp Realty. Why this even matters? Some people think all realtors are basically the same. You list the house, someone puts it on the internet, someone puts it in the MLS, buyer shows up, you sign some papers, and you're done. If that were true, there would be no difference between agents. Anybody can do that, but there is a big difference. It's a massive difference, and it shows up in a few places. Your sales price. The best agents will price your house correctly according to the market, the comparables, and the condition of your home. They're going to negotiate hard. A bad agent, they're going to price your home where you want it because they just want to win the listing. At the end of the day, you price it too high, it sits on the market, you're going to end up probably getting less than if you would have priced it correctly from the beginning. So an agent, the right agent that sticks to their guns and will only list your house if you price it where you should, that's the agent that's going to end up getting you the most money for your property. Your stress level. A great agent is going to handle problems, issues that come up, and they're not going to interject you into the middle of it and stress you out, telling you all the little details and what's irritated them as the agent. They're going to try to handle the problem, get it solved without involving you, and then let you know, hey, just so you know, this came up, but this is what we did and we're all good. They know that you did the job, but they didn't have to feel the pressure from the issue. And then your net profit, that's going to be a difference. After commissions, after repairs, concessions, and time on the market, the agent you choose could mean a difference of $10,000, $20,000 to your bottom line. More money in your pocket. This is why making a decision based on who your best friend knows or who your aunt knows, it's not in your best interest to make a decision based on who somebody tells you they know. Interviewing your agent and making sure that they're qualified to handle that transaction and truly do what's best for you as the seller to put the most money in your pocket, that's the agent that you want to hire. Just because I don't know your aunt and uncle doesn't mean that I might not be the better choice. So what do you look for in a good agent? First, you want to make sure that they're going to tell you the truth about the price. If you interview me, I will probably already given you a general market overview based on me not having looked at your house yet, but this is the marketing report that I've run, and there's going to be a wide range of comps in the area. You've got some that are really low, and there might be a $70,000 spread. The low, the high. Your house is going to fall somewhere in that range because this is what the market says. I'm giving that to you so you can kind of see what you should expect. Now, the condition of your house is going to be how we figure out where in that range the right price is. You might tell me that you want $325,000 for your house. But if I think that that's too high and I really think that the right price for your house is $300,000, I'm going to tell you that I wouldn't list it for more than $300,000. You might get the realtor down the street that says, yeah, I'll sell it for $325,000. Okay. They'll list it for what you want, but they're doing you a disservice because the market is what it is. If the comps don't support 325, sure, I can come in there and tell you, yeah, I'll list it for 325. But what's going to happen is we're going to sit on the market for a few weeks. Nobody's going to bite at 325 because the market isn't supporting that price. So now we're 2 weeks down the line and that agent's like, cut the price, cut the price, cut the price. And they're eventually going to drop your price so far. We all know days on market equals lower price. And ultimately, you might end up at 290. 300 sounded pretty good, didn't it? So I will never just list it for what you want unless that matches what the market says. So a good agent is going to show you the comps. I'm not just making up the numbers. These are really what the market is doing. I'm going to pull out the active listings. So this is what your house compares to. This is what you're going to compete against. I'm going to show you the pending listings. These are ones that are under contract. There are buyers interested in these houses. This is what they're listed at. And then to get the value, we're going to use the solds, because what things have actually closed for is how they're going to appraise. It's how prices are going to be set. And if I give you a price and I show you the proof, why do you think we can get $25,000 more? I'm going to be honest with you. And if you choose to go with the agent that tells you what you want to hear, in the end, it's probably not going to work out to your advantage. So go with the agent that's going to be honest and have those hard conversations. Second thing, the agent has a solid marketing plan. They can tell you exactly how they're going to market your house. They're going to use professional photography. Where are they going to advertise your listing? How they handle showings? Are they going to do open houses? Do they do a video walkthrough? What if we get through the first week and we don't have any showings? How are we going to handle that? Am I going to communicate to you what the showings are? These are things that are important. When I meet with somebody and give them my marketing plan, I have a proven strategy that works. The last several listings that I've taken, we've priced it correctly and we've gone under contract within a day. That means we set the right price. Some of those even went over the list price because those buyers wanted the house because it was priced appropriately and they didn't want to be in a bidding war getting super high. The next thing that shows you a great agent, they're going to communicate constantly. They answer their phone. They text you back. They call you back. They're going to keep you updated without you having to chase them down for an answer. I think the number one complaint that sellers have, even buyers, is the lack of communication from their agent. Ask them, how often will I hear from you? If they dodge that question, it's probably going to give you your answer. I might not always be able to answer my phone immediately when you call, but what I am going to do is I'm going to let you know, hey, I saw that you called, and as soon as I'm done with this appointment, I will call you back or I will get back to you. You're never going to not hear from me. I'm never going to not respond in a reasonable amount of time. The expectation is that if you're my client, the communication is going to be open and you're going to hear from me maybe more than you want because I'm going to make sure you know what's happening in the transaction. The next thing is they have local experience. They know your market, not national trends, not how many homes have sold in your area in the last, 6 months. We can all look up this information. Knowing those statistics, it's unacceptable for your agent to not know. This is all, even if we're in Northeast Ohio, let's just say Parma, for example, is not necessarily my area. However, if I'm going to meet with a client to know Parma, I'm going to do my homework. It's not hard. Prepare. Show that you care. Show your clients that you care about the market that they're in, that you're trying to work in. And research the area if you're not super familiar with it. As an agent, that's something that every agent can do. The tools are there for us. So if you have an agent that comes in and says, well, I don't really know anything about Parma, but I can sell your house. How? How are you going to promote my house because it's in Parma, but you know nothing about the area that I live in? So know the schools, know the neighborhood, learn the trends. Real estate does get hyper local? What's the average days on market in that community? If you're telling somebody that, don't worry, I can sell your house in 2 weeks, but every house in that area takes 30 days to sell, have the honest conversation. Make sure the agent that you're interviewing is being honest. I'm not going to tell you that I can sell your house in 14 days if every other house is taking at least 30. Maybe we get lucky, but I'm going to share with you the facts on what the market is currently doing. If it's 30 days, I feel very confident that I can get your house sold within the 30 days. And guess what? If we sell it in 15, awesome. I exceeded your expectations. I'm not going to make up false information that doesn't, it's not supported by the statistics. So if an agent's going to try to tell you and blow smoke, that's probably not the right agent. Another sign of a great agent is they will push back. They're not just going to agree with everything you say. If a seller says, I don't really want to stage my house, the agent's going to say, well, here's why you should. Decluttering, depersonalize. You say, I want to list it at 350, and the agent says, well, here's why 320 is better. You want the agent that is going to push back to get you to understand why they're the ones that you should hire, because they're not just going to tell you what you want to hear. If an agent walks in and tells you everything that you want to hear, they're probably not going to do the best job for you. They have to be confident in what they're telling you that they can do, and why just agreeing with you isn't always the right thing. Sure, I might come in and I might completely agree with a couple things you say, but if I don't agree, I'm going to tell you why politely, professionally, but I'm going to challenge what you're saying. So these are the red flags when you're looking and interviewing agents. Red flag number one, they give you the highest price. Agent A says, I can sell it for 310,000. Agent B says, I could probably sell it for 315,000. And then agent C comes in and says, I can sell it for 355,000. You pick agent C because they gave me the highest price. But if agent A and B had two prices that were close, $5,000 is pretty close, and agent C was that much higher, that agent just bought your listing. In 60 days, if it's still sitting on the market, they're going to convince you to drop it. Now you wasted 2 months, your listing looks stale, and if you ask them to show you the comps that support that, they probably can't. As a matter of fact, I know they can't. There are no comps to support it. If two agents gave you 310 and 315 and a third came in and gave you 355, they're not going to be able to show you comps that support that price. They're just trying to tell you what you want to hear to win the listing. Red flag number two, a very vague marketing plan. If you ask them, how are you going to market my home? And they give you, oh, well, I've got a great team and we're going to, take pictures and we're going to put it in the MLS and do all these things. Well, that's not very specific. It's not an answer. They're dodging your question. A serious agent is going to have a very specific plan before you sign an agreement. Red flag number three, they have absolutely no local track record. An agent should have some sales in your area within the last 6 months, within 10 to 15 miles. So here in Northeast Ohio, I'm going to be able to show you within 15 miles sales that I've made. Maybe not in your specific city, but again, an agent should be able to give you information about your location. But if they don't have any sales in your area, they're coming from 2 hours away, they're probably going to lose you some money. Red flag number four, and to me, this is a big one. They discount their commission without any explanation. An agent that immediately offers a lower commission is not necessarily giving you a deal. If they're willing to cut their own pay before a conversation even starts, how hard are they going to negotiate for you when it's your money? If they can't even negotiate their own money, they're probably not going to be very great at negotiating yours. So, cutting commission, also think about it from this perspective. I have two listings. One is paying me 3%, one is paying me 2%. You know what? And the third one, I even took it for 1. We're all over the place. Do you think, and this isn't me because I don't cut my commissions, I know that what I charge is I provide the service that's worth that. But 3 different commission rates. Do you think the one that is only paying a 1% commission is going to get the same level of work that the client that's paying the full 3% that they asked for is getting? Probably not. They're not going to work as hard for a lower commission. So when they're willing to cut their commission just to get the deal, know that they're probably not doing everything that they can to get your house sold. Red flag number 5, they're pressuring you to sign. If an agent is pressuring you to sign an agreement the very first time you meet them, before you've had time to think about it, that's a huge red flag. Now, I might come to your house to do the listing appointment and I bring the listing agreement with me and I ask you to sign it. But it's not going to be the first conversation that we've had. It's also not going to be me pressuring you to get it signed. Look, you have choices, and maybe I'm not the agent for you. Not only do you have to want to hire me, I have to want to work for you. So if an agent's pressuring you to make that quick decision, to me, that's a red flag. They should present their plan. They should let what they're doing to present their business to you, that will speak for itself. There should be no need to pressure a client to sign. Now, a buyer, I just want to throw this out there because a lot of buyers get super uncomfortable because we have to have a buyer broker agreement signed before a door can be opened. That is probably the one situation where you do have to sign before you've met the agent in person, unless you met with them before you look at houses. So every buyer does have to sign a buyer broker agreement. It's cancelable, but it is something that needs to be signed at the first viewing of a house. Red flag number 6, the agent talks more than they listen. In your first meeting, who's doing all the talking? A good agent is going to ask you about your situation, your goals in getting the house sold, your plans for what you're going to do, your timeline. What are your concerns? An agent that's not so good is going to come in with this big old presentation about themselves, all of their awards, all the things that they're trying to make themselves look better. Your agent should be learning about you, the client, and what you need. Sure, they can tell you, I'm going to tell you that I'm a top producing agent in the area. I'm credible. I'm going to share that with you. But when I meet you, it's not a 45-minute conversation about me and myself. It's about you and what you need. So if an agent comes in and all they want to do is talk about themselves, they're probably not the right agent. So the questions you should ask, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet. When you sit down with a realtor, these are the questions that you should ask. So grab a paper and pen and write these down. Question number 1, how many homes have you sold in my area in the last 12 months? You want a specific number, not a vague answer like, oh, I've sold a lot. I work this area frequently. Numbers don't lie. I can tell you that in 2025, I sold 67 homes in Northeast Ohio. I know my numbers. I'm not going to make up, oh, I sold a lot. A good agent's going to know their numbers. Question number 2, what do you think my home is worth? And can you show me the comps that will support that? I don't want you to just get a number off the top of their head. You want data, you want comparable sales, and you want logic. Question number 3, what is your specific marketing plan for my home? What do you do for photography? What's your listing strategy? Do you run it on social media? Will you do an open house? What are your plans for the first week that my house is on the market? Make them get specific. Have a specific marketing plan. Question number 4, how will you communicate? How often? Will I get weekly updates? Will you text? Will you email? Will you call? As the client, you should know what to expect from your agent. If they can't tell you how they're going to communicate with you, gives me the feeling that they're probably not going to be great at communication and you're going to have to be begging for answers. Question number 5, what happens if my home doesn't sell in 30 days? This is a great question because it's going to reveal the agent's mindset. A bad agent's just going to come out and say, well, we'll drop the price. A good agent is going to tell you, let me evaluate and we'll make some adjustments. It's strategy versus panic. I'm going to look at how many showings did we have? If we listed and we've been on the market, in the first week, you should have several showings. Honestly, if in the first week you don't have any showings, we're not waiting 30 days. We're going to look and we're going to react to the fact that we didn't have any showings in one whole week. That's not normal. Houses that hit the market, there's always showings right away in that first week. Question number 6, can I talk to two or three of your past clients? If they hesitate, that's a problem. A good agent, they're going to have clients that are happy to vouch for them. If they can't give you references, you might want to ask yourself why. I know that I can tell my prospective clients, they can go to my Google page. All of those reviews are legitimate clients that I've worked with. I ask every single client that I close a transaction with to leave me a Google review. If there was something that I did that they weren't happy with, please tell me. The only way I'm going to get better is to know what I did wrong or what I did that you didn't like. Reflection and self-improvement as an agent. So if an agent doesn't have any clients that are willing to vouch for them, probably not a good situation. Trust your gut. And after all the questions, you really want to go with your gut. Do you feel like the agent listened to you? Do you feel like they understand what your situation is? Do you have confidence that they're going to tell you the truth? Or are they just going to give you a bunch of what you want to hear? At the end of the day, this is a relationship. It's a working relationship. You're hiring somebody to sell your most expensive possession. You're going to be working closely with this person for at least weeks, most likely a month or more, because the actual sales process is about 30 days. If something feels off in your first meeting, it's not going to get better. Go with your gut and trust it. So why am I telling you all this? Some of you might be thinking, Rebecca, why are you telling us to judge realtors? Aren't you afraid people will use this against you? Honestly, no, not even a little bit. Because I know all the things that I just said, those are things that I do. I don't tell people what they want to hear. Just because you want to get a certain dollar amount for your house, if it's not realistic, I'm going to tell you that's probably not going to happen, at least not in this market. If you want to get $30,000 more than your home is worth, wait till we're back in the COVID days, pandemic hits, and people are going crazy and spending way over list price. That's not where we're at. I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm going to tell you what I think the real price should be. I'm going to give you a very specific plan that I use to market properties. I always communicate. Again, I might not be able to pick up my phone the second you call, but what I will do is I will call you back, text you back, email you back in a very reasonable time frame. I've had clients say, I can't believe you answered so fast. I can't believe you're always available. I can't believe you respond. Well, why not? You called me. That's my job, is to communicate with you. So I know the area that I work. I know Northeast Ohio. And if there's a city or location that I'm not quite as familiar with, know that I'm going to do my homework and I'm going to research and I'm going to make sure that I can represent you in that area, or I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to say, look, maybe I should get you an agent that's a little bit more familiar. This actually comes up a lot. I get asked if I can do commercial. I can, but it's not my specialty. So, what I can do is I can help you, but I'm going to bring in a commercial agent that can help me through the transaction and will work with me. And guess what? I'm going to pay them. We're going to share in the commission because yes, I can help you. You trust me, but I may not be the best person. So let me bring someone in who is the best person and we'll work together to get it done. My job is to do what I can to the best of my ability, keeping your best interests at the forefront. So I'm going to do all the things that I outlined here today. I'm going to push back, communicate. I'm going to know your market. You can trust that when you work with me, these are the things that I do. That's why I can give you this playbook. And I don't have any fear of it. I might not be the right agent for you, and that's okay. There might be somebody that you think is a better fit. There's enough business for all of us to go around. And so you need to choose the agent that you feel most confident with. When you use this and you go through these questions and look for these qualities, you're going to end up with an agent like me. Might not be me, but you're going to end up with one like me, and that's going to get you the best situation for your strategies. The reason most sellers have bad experiences isn't because selling's just terrible. It's because they chose the wrong person to guide them. The right agent can change everything in your transaction. So now that you have the playbook, you know what to look for, you know what to avoid, you know what questions to ask every agent that you interview. Over the last 8 episodes, we've covered everything: who I am, why I do things differently, the lies that sellers believe, what to know before listings, what with Zillow is wrong, the spring market, the inspections, the real deal that almost died, and how to choose the person that's going to guide you through all of it. If you've been listening since episode 1, you're more prepared than 90% of the sellers out there. And that was the whole point of this. This was me sharing with you what I believe will get you to the best end result in selling your home. So if you want to have a real conversation about your home, your situation, your timeline, DM me on Instagram. You're not going to get a sales pitch. You're not going to get any pressure. You're just going to get your realtor mom being honest with you about what comes next. So I'm Rebecca Nadelka, your realtor mom, and I'll see you the next time. We'll get the process simple, smooth, and sold.